Hello everybody and welcome to Boss Bites. I'm the Bkbossman and today we're back playing Flight Simulator 2020. We are going to have a look at a little bit more scenery than we usually do today. We've got a new program of videos I'm looking at doing, which is I want to do some F1 circuits, but not just F1 circuits, legendary circuits, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to start off by going to the Nurburgring. We are in Nurburgring, Germany, and on the shortest runway I've found so far in Flight Simulator. There's the end of it. Pick up some speed, please. Or we are not going to take off. Go, 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 go. It's a very short runway. I think we took off out of somebody's back garden there. Okay, right. Let's put these flaps back a bit now. Gain a little bit more height, and then we'll start heading out to what we're looking for. Now, many people want to go to the Nurburgring. It is a bit of a pilgrimage for car lovers. I am a car lover. I've always wanted to go to the Nurburgring itself. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but it is something that's on my bucket list of things to do. What we're going to do is we're going to head over in this direction where you will find the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit. And just behind the Grand Prix circuit is the Nordschleife, which is the toll road. And that's the road that everybody wants to go around. That is the bit that everybody wants to drive. The corners, the complexity of it. Everybody does it on the games. If you've ever done Forza or Gran Turismo, you'll know that the Grand Prix circuit's fine, but it's only 2 minutes long. In an average kind of sports car, it's about 2 minutes between starting and finishing a lap off. To really get out and memorise the Nurburgring, you're talking months of work. Gran Turismo was a really good tutor for doing the Nurburgring. It separated it into 4 different sections, which is something that's recommended by race drivers. You separate it into 4 different sections. I can't remember the sections now, but there's it's like from stands to a point about a quarter way around the course, from that point around to the carousel, from the carousel to but it's one of those things. That's how you learn it, and learning that is that day you finally get round the Nurburgring in one go without putting your wheels in the dirt is a phenomenal feeling that you get there. Just to kind of give you an idea, that's where we've taken off from, Flugplatz Hinterweiler. I think Flugplatz actually means airfield in German. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, please. But I found several places called Flugplatz, and when I started searching for it, all I could find were different places in different areas, so I was struggling to actually find it. So I'm guessing that it actually means airfield. Now, where is the Nurburgring? This is the problem. It is a very difficult thing to spot. You'll spot the Grand Prix circuit, and then the Nurburgring itself is just behind it. There we go. That looks like the Grand Prix circuit just over in this direction. Right in front of me now, that should be the Nurburgring Grand Prix. So we'll start descending a little bit because I don't want to be miles up. I like these flights low, slow, and I like you guys to be able to see the detail when we get there. Now, anybody who's been to Nurburgring or been on the Nurburgring games, things like that, they will know that the main straight is the starting point. That's where we start from. You can start from outside the pits, a la Gran Turismo 3 or 4. I can't remember which one it was. The Gran Turismo 3 or 4 was the first one I really got my opportunity to drive the Nurburgring. And I'm pretty sure I remember doing it in a Jaguar XJR9 in sub 7 minutes. And it was a real planning problem doing that race, because the length of the circuits meant if you had any hint that your tyres were on the way out, you changed them then. But you could have tyres that were perfectly fine before you went out. By the time you got to the end of the lap, you were slipping and sliding like you're on ice, like you had nothing left. But that's definitely the Grand Prix circuit. Let's get this descent going, shall we? We'll take it for a nice, long, slow flight around it, and we'll find a spot to put the aircraft down afterwards. This is my second attempt at doing this video, because the first one, I tried to land on the main straight and my wing clipped a tree. And the game didn't like it. It threw me out. And that's not the greatest ending to a video. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and find somewhere else to land it afterwards. But first, let's get around it. So we're going to come up just to the right of the circuit for a minute first. Just for those, actually, do you know what we'll do? We're going to come down past the circuit so you guys can have a little look. Because you know, it is part and parcel of coming to the Nurburgring. You're going to want to see the actual circuit, and there is the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit in its entirety. Not a circuit that I like. Raced it a few times on Forza, raced it a few times on Gran Turismo. It was one of those ones that came up and it was huffed. What should I stand? Over complex for my liking, but I'm sure it's great if you wanted to test vehicles and the like. Okay, so we're going to start here. If you just look above my left wingtip, right there, just above the propellers, that's the pit lane for the Nurburgring ring road, and that is what we're going to go for. Ring road really doesn't do it justice, but that is what they call it, the ring road. So starting here at the pits, tight chicanes, just bringing it around tightly to the left. I don't have the ability in this aircraft to follow it to the letter. I probably would have been better off with a stunt plane, but I wanted to use this one because it has that nice slow speed that I can use. So it is, you'll know if you've been around this track before. In any kind of car, in any kind of game, this is rather slow, rather complex bits. A couple of little chicanes, clipper bits at corners. You can see a few people have done that. Some of these crashed there, I look at it. More complex corners, and then onto a nice low hill. The hill takes you down, speeds you up, and brings you down to a nice long straight that crosses over that hill road there. Up the hill. I hit hard on the brakes there before giving it a little push it back onto the throttle for a nice long sweeping right hander there. Let's keep her up, keep her steady. Last run on this I almost stalled it as well, which didn't go down very well. The only problem with these nice slow flights is you're always on the cusp of stalling it. Another long straight there, almost straight. And then again, it was hard on the brakes here. The amount of times I landed in the sand trap opposite. And then you just dab those brakes, bring it in across the lines there, and then hard on the brakes before the sand trap, and a really nasty tight right hander. There it goes, round there. Now this is where it gets more complicated because everything disappears into the trees. I think the auto-gen scenery has gone a little over the top around here. I'm not saying that there aren't so many trees around here, but I'm pretty sure that it's a bit clearer than it looks here. Nice long straight there, and you see just there, just where my nose right now, that's a bit of a hill there. It's nice to brake there, nice and hard, because you get that extra braking off of the hill itself. Sharp right, sharp left. Sharp right again, and another nice long straight following the flow of it. Lovely stuff. So, following it nice and hard. There's another little dab on the brakes here. No, the corners are very complex in this. You've always got to think 3 ahead. So you dab the brakes there, then you brake harder there, forcing yourself to be accelerating around those corners. Again, dab the brakes, hard on the brakes, round the corner. Very, very complex sections you have there. just following the top of the ridge of this hill here. It's going to be interesting next. There's a bit here that I lose every time I go around it. Again, following it around, another tight dip onto the right, dip into the left, hard on the brakes, shimmying your way through the whole thing, and then we start to climb. Again, surprising how many A roads you pass, and it's just traffic driving under here with these cars shooting over the top of them. And some of these nice little ponds just there. So following, this is where I always lose it. The road vanishes and I always end up having to look around and try and figure out where it has vanished off to. I think that's it right under me there. Tight, that's it, tight right now. And then we're going to go around. Just watch that, we don't want to stall. We don't want to stall. Keep it going, there we go. Okay. So this is the long rear straight, the long back straight of the Nurburgring. You really do get the opportunity to get some power down here. Speaking of which, I'm going to need some. It's lots of little shimmies left, shimmy right, all the way through. So we're approaching the furthest corner, the furthest and most famous corner of the Nurburgring. The carousel's coming up shortly. There she comes. As I said, little shimmies left, little shimmies right. Coming up here, probably doing around 160, 180 miles an hour. Close to 260, 270 kilometers an hour. My conversion is not great for kilometers an hour, to be fair. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this. You just dab the brakes, hard on the brakes right there, and then we're turning for the carousel. And there it is. That is the carousel. I'm going to take a little wider because my airplane will not let me turn that tightly. That stretch of concrete on the carousel there being the bit that makes makes your car jump and shimmy and bounce all over the place as you go around it. Very technical horse. There are either 127 or 147 corners. I can never remember which, and there's no way of me memorising every single one in terms of names, but I haven't bothered. Just to cut a few of these corners here because it just got so technical. This was like the really, really technical sessions. Your car will get upset so easily on here. Next thing you know, you're skidding across the grass, sliding through sand. But we're just pulling ourselves around towards the mini carousel now. And the mini carousel signals the beginning of the end straight. So if learning all of these sections, you're best off learning them in probably 4 different sections, separating it. So take a car out that does like, something reasonably average, and you divide it into about 2 minutes of driving, 2.5 minutes of driving, depending on your car and the speed it does. Lots of little upsetting bits under me at the moment. Those would easily take your car out if you're not careful. Don't forget that you can go and you can drive on this circuit. It is something you can go and do. I think you pay about €5 for it. So here we come up to the final corner just before the mini carousel. Just taking the rumble strips in there, and that there, you see the strip of concrete, that is the mini carousel. Just going to turn just onto the main straight. We're going to turn that really low and then finish the video off with that. There we go. Following down into the main straight. There we go. Nice and low now. Let's see how low we can get on it. Watch that speed. We don't want to overspeed it, overstress the vehicle. But this is the main straight of the Nurburgring, and we've been up to 200 miles an hour, depending on your vehicle now. Used to take this on Jaguar XJ220. It was one of my favourite cars to do it in. Absolutely love it. But this is one of the most complex circuits in the world. It's for someone to learn this, it takes a lot of doing. Here we go. I think we're just are we approaching the end of it. There we go. So this this corner here, you'll be doing almost 200 miles an hour, and then you've got to take this left-hander and brake just as you get there. Absolutely crazy, and then it's hard on the brakes while shimmying around here. And here we are approaching the pit lanes again. There we go, a nice loop completed. Fantastic track to drive around, and if you can learn it all the way through, full hats off to you about it. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm starting a new series. I'd like suggestions from people. If you watch the track on here and you've seen this and you think, do you know what would be great? I'd love to see him do Silverstone. I'd love to see him do Monaco. You know, put down in the comment section the ones that get the most popular, the ones that are most popular with people. I will make the time to go out and do them, and we'll have a closer look at these tracks from the air. I've already seen Silverstone itself. I haven't done a video about going around it just yet, and I've also planned to do one of my other favourite tracks, Laguna Seca, very soon. But if you do like the series, make sure you like and subscribe my videos, because it tells me what you're enjoying. If you do that, it tells me this is what you want to see more of, and I will make more of those videos. In the meantime though, I am the Bkbossman, and you've been watching Flight Simulator 2020 on Boss Bikes. Thank you very much for watching.